Hi everyone. I want to spend a few minutes talking about the first skills assessment assignment that is coming up later this week. This is an oral-based assignment, a speaking assignment. You'll record yourself on video. You'll upload that video to streamable.com, then copy it into Blackboard, just like you did with your orientation video. So that process is the same. But I want to spend some time talking about the assignment itself and what the guidelines are and what you need to be doing, just to make sure everyone is clear on what the assignment is. So I'm already here in Blackboard under the Skills Assessments page. And on that page, you'll see both of the skills assessments that you have to do are on here. But today we're just going to talk about the first one, Skills Assessment 1, Active Listening. There are a couple of parts to it here. There's a description here on the Blackboard page, and then I've got a separate handout that I put together for you with some more detailed instructions. So let's go ahead and take a look at the handout. I've opened it here. If you click on Skills Assessment 1 handout, that should open it up. There it is. And this gives you a description of what the assignment is. So essentially what's happening is you are given a set of 5 statements. These are things that somebody might say to you. So how are you going to respond to that person that shows, in a way that shows you are actively listening to them? And a big part of active listening, as you read about in the chapter, is how you respond to them, making sure you understand their feelings, making sure you understand what the situation is, and then seeing what they can do to try to resolve that particular situation. So there's a series of steps to this process that you'll need to follow for the assignment. So let's look at the steps one by one here. The first step, you're going to have to open with some kind of introductory phrase or introductory statement. And I've got several examples right here. You can use any example that I've given you on this handout, or you can come up with your own. Either way doesn't matter, as long as you do have an introductory phrase. Introductory statements usually are something like, so let me see if I have this right. Sounds to me like, so let me make sure I understand what you're saying. So all of your responses should begin with some kind of introductory statement like that. The second thing you want to do is paraphrase the content, paraphrase what that person said to you. Paraphrasing is a way to show that you have heard and you understand. And if you have misunderstood, it's a chance to get some clarification. So you want to paraphrase what the person said. And step 3 is you want to offer some kind of emotional overtone. Try to get a handle on how that person might be feeling. You can switch out step 2 and step 3, the paraphrase and the statement of feelings. You can say the statement of feelings first and then the paraphrase, or vice versa. Usually those are fairly interchangeable. So those are the second and third steps. The fourth step is you need to ask an open-ended question to the person, asking them how they might resolve their issue or their problem. Now, if people ever lose points, if I take off any points on someone's assignment here, it's often on this step. It's making sure that it's an open-ended question and not a closed question. So a closed question is a question that can be answered just yes or no. Do you like ice cream? Yes. All right, that's a closed question. So it has one answer, yes or no, or a question that just can be answered with a number or something, just one word, very short. An open-ended question is one that invites the other person to elaborate, to talk a little bit more. And open-ended questions typically begin with words like how, what, where, when, in what way. So the question that you ask should be open-ended and not a closed question. And then point 5 here, this is an oral assessment, and it's a video assessment. So you do have to record yourself. Nonverbals will count toward your score here, toward your overall evaluation. So are you making eye contact? Are you responding with appropriate nonverbals, things like nodding your head or any kind of vocalizations. Back channel cues, we call them. Yeah. Right? Those might be appropriate in some of these instances. And then at the bottom here, I've given you an example of how all this fits together. All right, so here's the example. A friend of yours might say to you, I can't believe my mom has been diagnosed with diabetes. I mean, what if she doesn't eat right or can't find the time to exercise? What will happen? The nurse said diabetes can be really dangerous. Okay, so a friend has said that to you. How are you going to respond to them? So you've got to think about, how is this person feeling, first of all, about this situation? How are they feeling? You know, that they seem kind of worried to me. They seem kind of concerned. All right, so try to figure out what emotion or what feeling is present in the person's statement. So how do we fit this together? And I've got it broken down here. So the first step, remember, is that introductory phrase. So it sounds to me like, and then you've got the paraphrase or the feeling. All right, so I'm going to start with the feeling on this one. It sounds to me like you're really worried. The third step then will be the paraphrase of what that person says. So paraphrasing is restating in your own words, just trying to get the gist of what the person's situation is. You're worried about your mom's health and her inability to take care of herself right now. Typo, all right? To take care of herself right now. And then the open-ended questions. What can you do to help her manage the diabetes? All right, so what's the point of that question? It's to get the person to think about their situation a little bit more and to come up with solutions in order to get through that problem or that situation more easily. So putting the whole thing together, here's the response. Sounds to me like you're really worried about your mom's health and her inability to take care of herself right now. What can you do to help her manage the diabetes? All right, so that's my response. I've had what the friend says, and I have my response to it with all four of the different steps. So let's go back over to Blackboard here, where I have the actual assignment. Scrolling down a bit, here are your 5 statements. You've got Terry, Marta, Sandy, James, and Jeremiah. So these are people who you have some relationship with in your life, and you'll have to figure out what that is based on what the statement is, and you have to come up with an active listening response to what they say. All right, using that 4-step process. So read through the statements here, come up with your responses, then you have to make your video, your actual recording. There are a number of ways you can go about this. Since this is a conversation with another person, hypothetically, if you have anybody at home living with you, your roommate, your spouse, significant other, family member, whoever it is, if they feel comfortable helping you out with this assignment, you can get them to say, play these roles, do a little role play. They can read what Terry or Marta said, and then you come back with your statement. If you live alone or the people that you live with just aren't comfortable appearing with you on camera, then you can just do it yourself. You can read the statement and then say what your response is. What people have often done by themselves is make slides and put these statements on the slides and then transition those into their video. So if you have some video editing capabilities or know-how, feel free to do that. You can be as creative as you want to be for this assignment. It's not required, though. You don't have to do any real fancy camera work or editing or anything, as long as you get your 5 statements in and your 5 responses. So however you want to approach it, there's several ways that you can go about it. I'm pretty flexible with that. And again, just like one reason I had you do that orientation video and upload it was just so you would have some practice doing that. So you're going to make this video, then upload it to streamable.com. Again, I've given you the links here. Copy that URL like you did before, paste it in. Most of you didn't have any trouble doing that, it didn't seem. I got the videos just fine. And then submit that to me and you're done. Then I'll watch them and I'll evaluate and give you some feedback on your statements. As you're getting this together, if you have any questions at all for me, please don't hesitate to contact me. Let me know how I can help you or anything that I might clarify for you. So again, take a look at the handout. The 5 statements are here. So do submit all 5. One more thing that I will mention is on your video, I prefer that you just record one video with all 5 statements in, or edit it together so that it's just one video file. That's going to be a lot easier for both you and for me, so I'm not having to open up 5 individual files for every person. It just makes it run a little more smoothly if you can get it all in one video file. So that's all I'll say about that. Again, if you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And otherwise, I'll be looking for your videos and I'll look forward to watching them. All right. Have a great day. Bye, guys.